All right, we are here once again. We're going to be casting a game. Today's game, Your Messiah is the person on my friends list. He is playing Jin on the red team. I'm a little worried because not connected is not a good sign, but there it is. All right, so blue team, red team. Blue team is running Trundle, Camille, Annie, Ash, and Karma. Red team's running Riven, Poppy, Swain, Jin, and Maokai. Blue team is probably going to be looking for picks. They have the capacity to do a team fight. Have some really strong initiation from Annie, Ash, and Camille. They also have some really good follow-up in terms of people getting to the fight with Karma. And Trundle is going to be really good in this composition, especially against the tanks that are running against them. Riven, Poppy, Swain, Jin, and Maokai make me think of a super defensive comp. Kind of like I would call it a fortress comp, where the front line is pretty much impenetrable and the back line is going to be doing everything it can to kind of make sure the front of the fortress doesn't fall. That being said, if the blue team can maneuver around the front wall of the fortress and get to Jin, they'll probably win most of their fights fairly easily. Also, Ash, Camille, or Trundle are going to have to build Executioner's Calling / Mortal Reminder to probably stop the Swain and probably to stop the Swain and the Maokai from healing as much as they do during team fights. That can also be said for Jin or another AD champ on the red team, as Trundle might become one of those unkillable monsters later on if they aren't careful. So, right now we have some, starting off, we have some wards being placed. Blue team has a strong idea as to what's going on, but it looks like if things don't, I was about to say, if Karma doesn't get out of there, she might end up dying. She got out, but there's still a ward by the blue buff, and they know everyone is around that area right now. Going to the bot lane matchup, we got Ash and Karma versus Jin and Maokai. Got a dance party in red. We got a poke comp versus poke sustain comp versus a pretty much hardcore kill comp. If Jin and Maokai can get early damage out, they should be in a good position, I think. But it's getting kind of. We'll have to see how that matchup turns out. Okay, bring that up. I still don't know what the bug is and why supports don't show up on the spectator cam. I will go ahead and put in a report for that. Whether or not that gets fixed, I have no idea. But anyway. Whoa, and Jin looks like he started with W to get that long distance route, which is going to be really nice considering Maokai has the follow-up with that. I'm saying he's already burned a health pot on Karma as a result. Oh, and she gets but they don't have their level 2, which is kind of funny because Ash and Karma should have been able to win that trade, but it sure did not look like that. Swain's doing his thing against Annie, making it difficult for her to move around. Looks like Camille and Poppy are about to start their ganking runs now. Poppy cleared out her jungle, and now Camille looks like she might start moving towards that direction after she gets that blue buff. Looks like she was. I thought she was going to go top, because top would be a really good place to go gank right now, considering that whole setup. Oh, looks like Annie might get him. And the last tick of Ignite was not enough. How much HP did he have? Looks like he had less than 100. It's not great. Oh, and see, there we go. Camille is ganking top, and it looks like Trundle gets first blood on Riven. It's a good way to start this match for the blue team. This is probably not a good move for Karma. If he throws that W down, he should be able to actually... Oh, but he didn't use his W. I don't know if he has enough mana for his W, actually. But if he had thrown down that W, chances are Karma would have died in that whole fight. Oh, got another move up top. Poppy came to, I guess, gank Trundle, but she wasn't prepared for the fact that Camille was there with her. Alright, guys, don't give up. She's still there. She's still there. There she is. And now Riven's into the fight. I don't know if this is going to be good now. Oh, and Poppy getting out of that might have actually... Oh, like Poppy getting out of that might have also left Riven to die, but they just kind of let the fight end as it is to begin with. And looks like Karma might be going down. She does after the Jhin crit strike or fourth shot. And they're going to back off and I believe recall. Jhin has 1,300 gold, so chances are he'll go back for a BF sword, maybe a health pot or two. Maybe just one health pot. And, yeah. Looks like he got it. BF sword and health pot. Ashe is gonna have to try and do something really quick to try and, you know, close that gap. Like, there's already a CS deficit, and with that one kill, that definitely puts her a little bit farther behind in terms of her damage output compared to Jhin. Alright, so got a little bit of a trade up top. Trundle looks like he's going to start building, I want to say Tiamat. Looks like Riven's thinking about the same thing. I'm going to say Riven has to continuously go in because the more minions die around Trundle, the more he heals. I see what she's trying to do. She's trying to manage his HP, but I don't know if this is necessarily the best way to go about doing that. Uh-oh, looks like Annie might be going down. Oh, and Annie goes down really quick after getting rooted by the Swain W. And now it looks like the combination of Jhin and Maokai are pretty much going to zone out Ashe and Karma, which is kind of counter to what anyone would normally expect in that situation. Riven's not doing so hot, and Trundle ults Riven, continuously pulling that HP and armor away from her. But Riven immediately gets out, and Trundle's unable to take complete advantage of that. Looks like Poppy went and stole Camille's red buff. Good move on Poppy's part, but now she has to get out. Oh, and Annie throws down the bear. But Poppy needs to get out as soon as she can. She got ignited, and she gets out with the red buff. Trundle has his Tiamat. Oddly enough, I think Riven should probably be getting ready to get her Tiamat too. Because even though, well, it's kind of interesting. They both have even gold essentially, even though Trundle has almost half her CS. All right. Oh, is that going to be enough? It is enough. The last tick for Ignite was enough to go ahead and take down Riven. Or take down Trundle, sorry. And Riven goes back, and she's going to come back with quite a bit of damage on top of her now. Ooh, she went last Whisper. Really good move on her part. That's definitely going to help with shredding Trundle once he starts to try and take people's armor. Also, I feel like Trundle should probably start trying to invest in actually buying armor. definitely will be helpful in this situation. Riven's going to be building as much AD as she possibly can. Nothing like making a tank almost impossible to kill. We got Poppy coming in to try and fight Camille. She dives pretty hard, but she's also taking quite a bit of turret damage, and she goes down off the overly aggressive play. She got the stun off on Camille, but it was under tower, so tower did a substantial amount of damage to her as she tried to finish Camille off. Camille threw a hook shot to the wall and stunned her, and that was just too much time. I'm gonna say you gotta know what your champions are capable of doing and what your opponents are capable of doing. You can't do things like that. Like, anyone with the stun is always going to be able to flip a fight around once they're under tower. It's always going to be the case. So you got to be careful when that stuff when that stuff occurs. You got to choose your fights. All right, so you got a fight up top. Trundle just ulted Riven, but Swain is up top, getting ready to throw down his root, and he does. But it's not gonna be it is gonna be enough. Goes ahead and flashes in to get that last kill on Trundle. Oh, and Ashe throws her ult, but that was probably a bad move on her part. If I was Jhin, I'd probably open up right now. Let's go curtain call. There we go. We got the curtain call. He is aiming. He is missing. And the screen doesn't zoom out like I want it to when he does that ult, which is kind of sad. Like, he gets both Ashe and Karma within 100 HP. I'm gonna say good work on his part, but it wasn't enough to get a kill. He definitely would probably need that. He is winning, but it's nothing like making sure that you keep that advantage throughout the rest of the game. And he whiffs her stun bear. The bear is still going after Swain, but she needed that stun to go off if she planned on actually making some magic happen. And she took a really bad angle. Poppy was waiting in the bush. Swain's going in. Poppy misses her ult, but she knocks Tibbers into the sky. That's a lot of health pots on Trundle. I don't know if you necessarily need 4 of them, especially at this point, but their choice is their choice. So, it looks like the first item that Riven ended up buying was Mortal Reminder. He is going to have a hard time in fights coming after this. Swain got caught out, but he's healing. Camille gets that kill. I don't know if she's going to be able to get out of this. She has 2 tanks chasing after her, Poppy and Maokai. And, whoa, and she gets across. She gets across the barrier pit. Maokai tries to have the dragon go ahead and attack her, but he's moving too slow, and she gets out. I'm gonna say Maokai is still chasing her. I'm not really sure why, but oh, and Trundle is going after Jhin. He takes a bite out of him. I don't know if Jhin can make it out of this. He should be able to with that crit, and he does. Say all types of fights are occurring right now. There's a chase going on. Camille is trying to get out of the enemy team's jungle. Don't know if she's going to be able to do it. She went to... Oh, and she walks directly into Swain. She almost got to execute. If he did not go that route, she could have got out a little bit... Well, I wouldn't say scot-free, but she definitely would have not... It would have been a lot better. Oh, and Jhin flashes out, knowing good and well that Annie was ready for the stun. The amount of burst damage coming from both her and Karma would be too much. Okay, so Jhin misses the first 3 shots, but lands that last one. Swain goes in and throws a little more damage down. I believe Annie was at full health before the ult, and the combination of both those two going in on her was enough to take her to nearly 20% health, I believe. Maybe even less than that, maybe 10. I don't know. But yeah, Riven got the Mortal Reminder, so Trundle's healing capacity is going to be heavily hampered. Ashe looks like she's going for the standard setup, so she's going to build a Runaan's Hurricane after building a BF sword. throw some damage behind her attack speed. Jin looks like he's also doing the same thing. I know he went Boots of Swiftness, but if it was up to me, I would be a little hesitant to go that route just because Berserker Greaves give him more AD. Alright, we got a fight up top. Riven goes and takes down Camille. Trundle almost could have taken down Riven, but because he threw down this Pillar of Ice, he was unable to get around, and that was it. Red Team goes ahead and takes Earth Drake while all of that was happening up top. Riven is throwing some silly stuff out there. Oh, is she going to get out? One more shot. Oh, and the exhaust might have saved her, but it wasn't enough. Riven, oh, looks like Trundle's come down bot. Is that going to be? Oh, and Maokai goes ahead, pops his ult, and takes down Trundle. You say Trundle's not doing so hot. He needs to do something quickly if he's going to try and stay relevant throughout the rest of this game. And Jin opens up. He's going after Ashe. Oh! Oh! And the Poppy knockup knocked her out of the plane for Jin's ult. Ooh. Looks like Poppy may have miscalculated one more time. Took a lot of turret damage from that dive. Oh! And that fourth shot goes ahead and takes down Camille before she's able to actually take advantage of it. Karma blows up Jin with her Q, and then Maokai gets Ashe, and he went down to Swain. They're going after Maokai. Trundle gets Maokai. There's just a lot of action going on right now. Woo. And it looks like Riven is actually still pushing top. She might potentially get that top turret. Which, in all honesty, is that just makes the advantage that they have that much stronger, I believe. Right now they have a 6K gold lead, and this is starting to get a little bit out of control for the blue team. They need more resources on their carries, and Camille is going to have to help pick some of those people off so they're able to get more resources. Although I'm not really sure what her mindset is in this, but Camille is going to have to orchestrate a few more picks herself in order for things to work out better, or to actually turn this match around. Uh-oh. And here we go. They're going in on Annie, Poppy, and Riven. Riven goes ahead and clears out. Riven goes ahead and clears out Annie. Poppy clears out Trundle. The Ashe ult from across the map. Camille could have potentially done way more damage than she actually allowed herself to do. Oh, but the bad angle allows Poppy to take advantage of the wall being there, and she stuns Camille and takes her down. Swain goes ahead and takes down Ashe. And it looks like Poppy might get another kill. She gets a kill on Karma. I'm going to say, and Red Team's lead has ballooned to almost 9K. I don't believe that. I'm hoping that blue team doesn't surrender, but this is not a. This is very demoralizing. If I was in this game, I'll be very demoralized. Whoa! And the stun bear. Uh-oh, is Jin going to get that kill? Jin gets the kill with his curtain call. Maokai is trying his best to fight off Camille, but just not enough. So Swain goes ahead and takes down Karma. Riven jumps over a wall to finish off Camille. Trundle is going in after Jin, but got held down by the Swain and gets turned on and killed. Riven is going after Ashe, and this is pretty much going to be a ending fight. Oh, wow. She hits the point blank stun and is able to get out. You say we will see about the resolve of the blue team within the next minute, whether or not they go for the surrender or whether or not they go to the last Nexus. Yes, last Nexus. You say Ashe finally has her Brunan's Hurricane, but at the same time, if you look at Jin, he has an Infinity Edge rapid fire cannon, and it looks like he might start building a Essence Reaver. So Ashe only has one of her main items while he is working on his third. That's not great. And everyone's going after Poppy. We got Ashe, we got Karma, we got Trundle, and we got Camille going after one person. Poppy throws some mastery disrespect considering she got out of that massive chase. So Maokai's going in on Trundle, but it looks like Swain comes from behind and takes down Annie. Camille throws down her ult and makes it so that Maokai can't leave, but it was setting herself up for failure. Ashe is about to go down now as she got caught out trying to help the Camille out. So Riven is working on top, and it sounds like there is an audio bug in that area. And it looks like we got our 20-minute surrender. Say, so you say red team with a completely dominating victory over blue team with a 13k gold lead. You say Riven, Swain definitely played an incredibly important part in making that happen. Riven's ability to kind of negate Trundle definitely kept him from becoming a powerhouse throughout the rest of the game. And Swain, in his, he pretty much kept the bot lane down, or he kept the bottom side of the map down. No, Swain was mainly responsible for keeping Annie down, and Annie definitely could have became a lot worse. But even looking at her build right now, Swain was working on his third item, Annie was still working on her first. So it was just kind of showing you the massive difference between the damage output of both of these characters, both these players. Swain definitely took advantage of that. Jin definitely took advantage of the fact that Ashe had a much harder time in lane than he did. I'm going to say the combination of Jin and Maokai was enough to scare the super strong Annie Karma lane back, and from making them afraid during the laning phase, it definitely showed itself in the late game, or the later part of this game, as she has pretty much no damage behind her. Attack speed is great, attack speed is nice, but if you don't have damage behind what you're throwing out, it's almost like I'm throwing peas at a person rather than actual bullets, or arrows in her case. So she might want to think more about build paths. Maybe there might be an instance where she might want to focus on damage before she goes attack speed. I know she has some natural things in her kit that take advantage of that, but at the same time, you got to think about what's going to actually work for your team in situations like that. But yeah, it was a great game to watch. Lots of action. I'm going to say 10 kills to 25 kills. And it looks like the red team pretty much had a perfect situation, as they lost none of their towers, and they were the only ones to get a dragon throughout this game. Again, I want to thank Your Messiah for allowing me to cast this game. Again, this was a 20-minute surrender match, and this was also ranked. So, with that, I will go ahead and sign off. It was a pleasure streaming for you guys, or not streaming for you guys, casting for you guys, and I hope you guys are looking forward to the next one. All right, have a great day, and bye.